lot of times people will ask us what we're working on here in the V8 Speed Resto Shop. So every once in a while we like to give a little shop tour to give you an idea of some of the projects we've got going on here in the shop. And a lot of times we seem to be Camaro heavy, but today we've got a lot of Chevelles in the shop. This one right here, it's a 1968 Chevelle. It's bright red with black SS stripes. It's a really neat car. It's powered by a big block Chevy, and it came to our shop because the customer wanted an upgraded dash display, so we installed some Dakota digital gauges. He also wanted an upgraded audio system, so we installed a custom auto sound head unit and their subwoofer in the back with their amplifier. And he also requested we do some maintenance on the car, which unfortunately kind of snowballed from there. This poor car, we found water in the oil and oil in the water, which turned out to have a crack in the engine block. So we ended up installing a whole brand new 454 cubic inch V8, which replaced the cracked and broken 396 that was in the car before. So although it was an unexpected upgrade, this is going to be a better car for it with a bigger engine and much more power. We've got more Chevelles to show you in a minute, but behind me is a 68 Camaro. Again, we're never at a loss of Camaros in our shop. This is a neat car. It's got a 396 under the hood, and it came to us because it had some suspension issues. The customer supplied the car with a Detroit Speed front steering system and some tubular control arms, some good parts up front, but the rear end wasn't quite up to snuff. So now we've installed a Curry 9-inch rear end, a Detroit Speed Quadrolink suspension and mini tub. And we're going to do a few more mechanical upgrades on this car as we go. Look for this one as a feature on an upcoming episode of V8TV. Getting back to the Chevelles, over here we've got a 1969 Chevelle, and those who follow our show and our website have seen this car before. We built this one a few years ago. It's a 454 cubic inch V8 with a turbo 400 combination, a full restoration done here in the shop. This car went on to be featured in Hemmings Muscle Machine magazines and also a winner at the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals. Today it's back getting a 5-speed manual shift conversion using a Tremec TKO 600 5-speed and some parts from Modern Driveline, making this car a little bit more fun to drive with a manual shift instead of the automatic Turbo 400. And then in this corner, we've got a car that we didn't build, but we're doing some tuning and maintenance on, a 1970 Chevelle. This car came to us a while ago. We did some suspension upgrades. The customer then installed a GM LSA supercharged 6.2 liter LS engine, and he had a little trouble getting the tune just right. So today Trevor is finishing off a couple of wiring details and a couple mechanical fixes, but he also put a brand new tune-up on this LSA to make sure that this car makes all the power it can from this supercharged engine. Here in the paint booth, we've got a 1951 Chevy pickup truck that has been converted into a dump truck by our customer's grandfather. This thing has been in the family for many, many years, and it came here for a complete restoration. Today, the metalwork is all done, and Jeff, our painter, is starting to lay down some of the green color on the inside of the doors and in the door jambs, and then he'll mask it all off and spray the green and black on the outside to make this old truck look like brand new. This cyber gray 1969 Camaro is getting ready to go home after a complete restoration here at V8 Speed Resto. It's a really neat car. It still retains all of the factory style badging and trim. It does have an upgraded wheel with the US Mag Rambler to give it a little bit of a modern look on the outside, but it's still powered by a traditional small block Chevy V8. Although underneath that finned air cleaner is a Holley Terminator EFI system. This car also has a vintage air AC system tucked up under the dash. A couple other modern touches, the Ring Brothers hinges, an electric fan, some suspension upgrades. But inside the car, it has what appears to be a factory-looking seat at first glance, but those are actually bolstered, articulated Scat Pro Car seats that are actually skinned in the original houndstooth upholstery. The car has Dakota digital gauges in the dash, a modern custom auto sound audio system, and a white shift ball on the 4-speed shift handle. A nice combination of traditional and modern, in a car that looks as fresh as the day it was built. This 1969 Corvette Roadster is a great project. It came in with a small block and a 4-speed, and it's going to leave here with an LS3 and a 6-speed manual. We're also upgrading the vintage air system and installing some new electric parts from Detroit Speed, like their new headlight motors and windshield wiper motor. This is a car that's going to be driven hard, so we're also going to do some Willwood brake upgrades, maybe a different wheel. You can follow the build of this one on our website. This midnight blue 55 Chevy came to us after the customer recently bought it at an auction, and he didn't know very much about the car. So part of the services we offer here are complete vehicle inspections for old cars. We put it up on our lift, we found a few things that it needs, and our team is now taking care of those so he can enjoy this car for the summer cruising season. Our fabrication shop is always busy, and right now we've got a 1970 Chevelle, and behind that is a 1973 Duster 340. The Chevelle's a neat project. The chassis is already finished. It's got an LS engine in place and a 6-speed, and our team is going to do some metal work to fit the gaps and make the body look nice. The Duster was a very rusty car when it came in, so we're doing a lot of metal replacement on that one, and it's getting a complete restoration. So when both of these cars leave, they will be shiny, painted, completed cars. This is just one step along the way to getting to that final point. Behind me is our body shop, where we do a lot of the body filler and final prep before prime and paint. And I've got some neat projects back here too. This one is a 1978 Chevrolet Bonanza Big 10 pickup truck. It's got about 40,000 miles on it, still in its original owner's family, and it's time for just a new paint job. Behind that, on its side, is a 66 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 396 car. Very cool muscle car. It received a lot of metal work here in the shop, and now it's moving on to its bodywork stage. It's tipped on its side so that the bottom side can get a protective coating of epoxy paint and an undercoating before it goes topside for regular bodywork. And behind that is a 1986 Chevrolet Caprice, a car that has been in our customer's family since day one, and it's time for a restoration on that. And we're fortunate enough to get a lot of cars that are original owner or original family cars to restore. And what that tells you is that people trust our team to restore their family heirlooms. And we don't take that lightly, and we're happy to work on those cars. The best way to keep tabs on what's going on here at the shop is to go to our website at V8speedshop.com. We have a Contact Us button on our website. Feel free to reach out. Who knows? Maybe we can give you a hand restoring that car, making an upgrade, maybe even feature it on V8TV.